Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, C'est Jackie. Today, I'm with the lovely Jerry Weil to talk about movies, the movies of 2024, the 10 best movies, and possibly we'll talk about some of the worst movies of 2024. Um, Year in review. There were a lot of movies that came out this year. Would you say that this year was a particularly good year for movies? Bad year?
Uh,
So year?
no. This is one of the worst year for movies I think in
Worst?
record. Yeah,
Wow, that's
everybody,
hardcore.
everybody's talking about that. Although there's been a slew of. I've also never seen. Usually they do always save the better movies for the end of the year.
Uh-huh.
For award season, all that.
Yeah.
But I've never seen this much of a compacted string of like like all the better movies seem to be really coming out now.
Mm.
There's a few that I haven't even seen that people are talking about. So they really saved the good ones for the end of the year. So yeah, no, it's been a really bad year for movies.
Oh, goodness.
Are we not talking about TV? I thought we were doing TV
Oh,
also.
yes, TV as well.
Okay.
And in terms of TV, what do you think? How has this year been?
Great. I mean, see that's the whole thing. I think everything is shifted now, especially with
Oh,
streaming. I think
yeah.
best entertainment overall is on television, and the limited series format has sort of replaced what used to be in terms of the movies that we used to get. Now we're getting great limited series on television. So yeah, no, I think TV has been just awesome. There's so much great stuff on TV. That's where all the great entertainment is, I think.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Well, let's start it out. Do you want to start with TV or do you want to start with film? With movie?
Uh, I think well, I don't know. It's up to you. What do you think?
Um, let's start with movies.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start with movies.
So you want my 10 best list?
Absolutely.
These are I mean I could not use an order. So these are in absolutely no particular order.
Okay. I got you.
Um, yeah. So okay, so let me start with there's two the two ape movies
Mm-hmm.
are are on my list. So the one movie that everybody seems to be overlooking, I think, is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That is one of my favorites for the year.
Okay.
Um, it's not really been making it on anybody's list. I think it's sort of gotten forgotten because it was earlier in the year.
Yeah,
But that was a great movie.
I remember.
And then one that's not out yet, but that I was fortunate enough to be able to see a screener of is Better Man, the Robbie Williams uh, biopic. Uh, just phenomenal. Those are the two ape movies for the year.
Yeah, have not heard of it, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, no, there's. I mean, they've been playing the trailers like all over the place. So yeah,
Hmm.
I think coming in limited release soon, wide release maybe in January or something.
Hmm.
Um, so then, okay, then I'll just go in order on my list here. Then we've got Sing Sing, which we reviewed.
Yes.
I know you
Let's
love that.
go.
We've got A Real Pain, which is not. It's people are talking about it. It's not really. People aren't really talking about it for like a Best Picture Oscar, but they're talking about it for things like writing and some of the performances and stuff. But definitely one of my absolute favorites. Wicked, of course. I think Wicked has. If you had to ask me now, I think it's got the best shot for Best Picture
Okay.
because it's been on everybody I know. It's been on their top 10 list, and I have a lot of people I know who have a top 10 list where there's very little overlap with my top 10 list. But the one movie that seems to be across the board on everybody's list is Wicked. So
Mm.
I think that's got a really good shot. Um, Inside Out 2, you know,
Okay.
definitely one of the best movies. Probably will win Best Animated Feature. Um, as we know, it's the highest grossing animated film of all time now. So it's yeah, great movie. Anora, which of course is one that everyone has been talking about. There's been buzz around that movie ever since it won the Palme d'Or in Cannes. Great movie, great performances. One that's people are talking about a little bit. It's not really on too many people's, I don't think, top list, but I absolutely loved it. Is Saturday Night, the Saturday Night Live story. Absolute, I mean, phenomenal cast. I mean, just like such a great ensemble cast of a lot of actors that you wouldn't necessarily recognize, playing these actual characters from Saturday Night Live. Just great movie. Another one I saw just recently, it's in limited release now, is September 5. The story behind the scenes of the news crew during the Munich Olympics. Just fascinating, thoroughly entertaining beginning to end. Really sort of small movie, but just really well executed. So absolutely love that. And then a little independent movie that, again, is not really on people's top list, but it's one of the most unique. Just loved it beginning to end. I was just so enthralled. Is Strange Darling. Absolutely love that movie. So I hope it gets some kind of love during award season. But yeah, that movie was just phenomenal. So that's my top 10.
What is Strange Darling about?
It's hard to describe. It's kind of a chase thriller. There's a woman that seems to be being chased by a guy that's trying to hurt her, but you don't really know why. It's all in a nonlinear fashion. Like they start with chapter 5, and then they like jump around. There's, I think, like 8 chapters or something, and it's all out of sequence. But then when it starts to come together, and like what you think you don't know, and there's twists and turns, and it's just, I mean, the performances are just, it's mostly these two actors, like some of the greatest performances of the year, just so brilliantly directed. And it was shot by, oh my gosh, now I'm blanking on his name. Please help me. The actor. Oh God, I have to look it up now. Oh my God. The first time he's ever shot a movie, and it's like the cinematography is just brilliant on this movie. I'm sorry. Old age.
You're fine. Fine.
Oh, help me. 1 second. Giovanni Ribisi. He shot the movie, and it's just brilliantly shot as well.
Excellent.
There you go.
It's funny because I think no movie that you mentioned, and just so we can have a recap, if you could say all 10 movies one more
We
time.
got Sing Sing, A Real Pain, Wicked, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Better Man, Inside Out 2, Anora, Saturday Night, September 5, and Strange Darling.
Excellent. I think the only movie that we have in common is Sing Sing. In my top 10. But because I haven't seen any of the others save for Planet of the Kingdom of the Apes. And that one I need to rewatch before I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I should also mention, there's a few movies I have not seen yet. I haven't seen The Brutalist on Saturday, so I have very high expectations for that because people are talking about that, certainly for a Best Picture. I haven't seen, Night Bitch. There's people who are talking about what's the other one? Baby Girl. So yeah, there's a few movies that I'm looking forward to that have not been able to see yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because I'm like, huh, Yeah, I don't know any. I haven't seen any of these movies. I have a lot of movies to watch. I watched a lot of the popular movies this year. You know, the ones that people are like usually go to the movies for, like The Fall Guy and like, the
Yeah.
bigger blockbuster stuff.
I,
Um,
I know also people are probably watching this like, why don't you have Dune 2 on your list?
right, right. I was gonna say.
I know, and I it's just
Um,
I thought it's a brilliant movie,
mm-hmm.
and like directing act, everything about it. It
Yeah.
didn't really grab me. I mean, I loved it, the movie. I thought it was
Uh-huh.
great, but just wasn't in my. It just didn't really. I wasn't emotionally connected to it. Just just
Yeah.
not my type of movie.
It didn't, yeah. And that's okay. Like, that's the beauty of like being different people is we're going to have different opinions and we're going to like different things, which is great, I think. I think it's a very
Okay,
good.
I want to hear your list.
My list is not impressive. Plus, I haven't seen Wicked yet. I've heard lots of things. I know. I'm very behind. I'm gonna hopefully see it this weekend, is my hope and my dream. But because I haven't seen it, I couldn't put it on my
Yeah.
list, even though it looks great. Um, and I enjoyed it. Well, I didn't enjoy it, but I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it and love it very much. Okay, let's go through my list. Sing Sing is the one movie we have in common that I totally agree with. I love Sing Sing. It's beautiful. If y'all haven't seen it, go see it, friends. One that I saw recently that I really loved was Blink Twice, directed by Zoe Kravitz. I loved that movie. Are there problems with it? Sure, but as a story and the way it went, I was here for it from beginning to end. I thought it was great. I really, really loved that movie.
And if they had an award for best first feature, give it to her.
Yes, yes, I totally agree with that. Another one that I have on my top 10 list was Monkey Man, which was
I,
directed and starred Dev Patel. Hmm?
I definitely considered that one. Yeah.
Oh, good, good. I was gonna be like, oh, that would be so sad if you're like, absolutely not. Yeah, I thought it was again, were there problems with the movie? Sure. But in terms of all the movies that I saw this year that were in 2024, it was yeah, it landed in my top 10. And I liked it. I liked it. Another one was Conclave, one that I watched this before this month in November or end of November or I really loved Conclave. I wanted it to be more of a thriller, but I enjoyed it from beginning to end and the performances were really good, especially that of Ray Fiennes. And I feel like I don't know if this is the year of Ray Fiennes, but I've seen him a lot. He was in Macbeth here in Washington D.C. area, and so and just with the different performances I've seen of him, I really liked his performance in Conclave. Thought it
I
was,
had that on my top 10 list and it got knocked out when I saw this, because I recently saw September 5 and Better Man. And so, yeah, those knocked Conclave off. I don't remember which one specifically, but yeah, it was close. It was close.
I hear that. So two close ones that are like, and it's because I haven't seen your movies. Maybe if I see them, I'll be like, forget it, knocked out. Oh, but for now, they're still on my top 10. Then I have Speak No Evil with James McAvoy. I really liked that movie. Yeah, I thought it
Oh,
was a
yep.
great thriller. It was very uncomfortable, and I was here for it. Yeah, I thought it was very interesting, and I love unhinged James McAvoy.
It's a shame. They're really overlooking him, I think, in terms of the actor category, and like nobody's even talking about his performance. But
Really?
not that
That's
I
so
not that I've
sad.
seen any list anywhere. And yeah, I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, I think he gets better and better and better, I think, all the time. And I don't know if he's ever won an Academy Award.
Been nominated, but no, he's never won.
I think he should be. Should be nominated and win. Come on, people. Get on our radar. Next is The Idea of You. The popular one with Anne Hathaway and I forget the name of the man.
Nicholas something, yeah.
Zalakdin
I'll sing.
Galatzin, yeah, something Galatzin, yes. Yes, that one was a popular one, and it was, gosh, so romantic.
That's actually TV though, right? That was never released in theaters, was it?
I I don't know, to be honest, but I consider it a movie.
Okay, 'cause I'm separating if it's a streaming movie,
Oh.
like only streaming, I'm considering that television. Um,
Mmm,
anyway, go ahead.
I got you. Okay, yeah, I've never
It's okay.
thought of it that way, but that's a good distinction to have
I
for
mean, there's some
people.
movies that were in the theater for like a week and then they go right to streaming, but
Right.
those are, still because they do it for, Academy consideration. So they'll have it in the theater for like a week so they can be considered for Oscars and then they
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Um, yeah. I considered it. I put it in my top 10 too.
okay. Okay.
And then I put in Dune to the two. I did put that in because the visuals, the story, um, gorgeous. And I'm into Dune very much. The story. And I felt like it moved, the pace was better. It just moved much better than the first one, in my opinion. And so I was here for it. I then added, just because again, based on the movies I have seen, and I've seen a lot of mid movies this year, like Long Legs and Trap, which are like, they were entertaining, but they can't be in my top 10. So next is A Quiet Place Day One. I enjoyed it, yeah, and I loved the both the performances from Lupita Nyong'o and from something Quinn, I think his name is.
Yes.
Forget. Yeah, the other guy who's with her. I thought it was entertaining and interesting from beginning to end. Yeah, I was here for it. Then the last two that I have, which I don't know if they deserve to be in the top 10, probably not, but they are. One is Gladiator 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
I love that movie.
okay, good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I especially loved Denzel Washington's
Oh,
performance.
I know
I
it's one
was
of the best performances he's given ever.
right. I was like, if we should have reviewed, well, we could always review it still. If I could play any person in that movie, it's
Oh,
him.
oh yeah.
I mean,
Oh
some
yeah.
people would choose the main guy, you know.
Boring, boring.
Ah,
No,
yeah,
I
I'm
mean
here
not
for
not
that.
boring movie, but I mean in terms of a role,
Uh-huh.
oh yeah. I mean Denzel's role. I mean that's where you sink your teeth into it. That was fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I was like, gosh, the only qualm I had is the ending, which I was like, this doesn't track. You are smarter than this. I don't, I'm not here for this. But I loved, I loved Gladiator 2. And the last movie on my top 10 is, gosh, where is it? Oh, The Piano Lesson, which is part of August Wilson's cycle.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
know, I guess we differentiate because you would say like it didn't go into the.
No, that was in
Oh,
theaters.
it was?
That was one that was in theaters for a very short time and then went to
Oh,
streaming.
okay, because I didn't see it in theaters at all, so I don't know. But I love August Wilson. I love his plays. They have a special place in my
That was a
heart.
great film. Yeah, I thought I that was one I also considered, but yeah, it just I mean I loved the directing, I loved the acting, I loved so many things about it. Just overall, I thought it was a little slow, and
Yes, agreed. Agreed.
so
Yeah. But I love the cinematography, and there were like just a lot of beautiful performances.
yeah, yes,
So that's my top 10. So I'm gonna repeat them
nice.
one more time. Blink Twice, Monkey Man, Conclave, Speak No Evil, Sing Sing, The Idea of You, Dune 2, A Quiet Place, Day 1, Gladiator 2, and The Piano Lesson. A nice mix. I'm like, there's some horror in there, there's some drama, there's some romance. I got a little bit of everything for everyone. Yes. And then now let's go into TV. And let's
Okay,
talk about top 10 for TV. I don't have a top 10 for TV. Well, I have like some things for TV, but I don't know if I have a top 10. But you
okay.
can go first.
I made a top 10. Uh, no particular order except for the one that's my number one, and you know this, Baby Reindeer. You know,
Oh,
is
Baby Reindeer, yes.
one of my top of all time. Yeah, definitely top for the year. So Baby Reindeer, absolute number one.
Okay.
Like brilliant, brilliant on every level. Yes, I love Baby Reindeer. Um, then we got the Penguin, which probably is my number two if I had to,
Ooh.
in order.
Okay.
Yes, I think also, definitely one of the best uh, uh, series of the year.
Mm.
Uh, okay, then we got one that I'm very fortunate, and like nobody else has seen this. I have a screener for it because I'm not even allowed to say, but a certain voting group that I was able to see this. I don't think I saw the entire season. I think there's still one or two episodes they have not seen yet, but Squid Game 2, everybody hold on to your
Oh my gosh, I'm so
it's
jealous.
so freaking good. Yes.
I can't
Yeah.
wait. Oh my
I can't
gosh.
say anything about it other than it's definitely one of the best for the year.
Okay.
So, Game 2. The best comedy of the year, Hacks. Absolutely love Hacks. Another really strong comedy, Nobody Wants This. We reviewed that.
Yes.
Definitely best for the year.
Definitely.
Got to have a documentary on there. So this is actually now
Oh.
interesting. I had put this on TV, but this actually theoretically is in film because it was another one that was short release in theaters, but then went right to streaming. But I did put it on my streaming list because most people have seen it on streaming, and that is Will and Harper. Will and Harper, absolute brilliant documentary.
What is it
Will
about? Because I haven't
Will
heard.
Ferrell on a road trip with his friend, who is a writer from Saturday Night Live, is transitioning to a woman, and they go on a road trip across the country, and it's just absolutely brilliant. It's on the short list for Oscar consideration for documentary.
Ooh,
Yeah, definitely check that out. I think it's on Netflix. Will and Harper.
William Harper.
Another documentary, and I have this on my list not because it's the greatest documentary, but because of its impact. It had such a strong impact on the entire industry, especially with children in entertainment, and that is Quiet on Set, the Nickelodeon story.
Oh, yes. I still haven't seen that. I need to see it.
Yes, so that is on my list. Shogun, of course.
I need to watch that.
Shogun is one of those, I wasn't as enthralled as everyone else. And when I say not, I mean, I loved it. I think it's just absolutely brilliant. I mean, just the visuals, the acting, I mean, everything about it. But it wasn't my favorite, but it just has to be there because it's such an achievement in in filmmaking, TV making, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, Shogun, Ripley, just brilliant, brilliant.
Oh.
limited series adaptation of
Mhm.
the book that was made into the Talented Mr. Ripley film. Um, just brilliant limited series. And finally, I have Landman, which I've only seen half the season, but it's still and I had to have this on the list because it's my old friend Taylor Sheridan, who I've known for years and years. This is one of his shows, and the writing is just top. I mean, you don't get any better writing than Taylor's writing. It's just, it blows me away every time I see anything that he writes. But the writing on this show is so good, and when you see it, there is a scene with a deposition with a lawyer, and you're gonna like, it's got one of the greatest monologues in a scene. There's just so many like really strong scenes and monologues. Just the writing was still so good. So that's my top 10. So
Oh,
once
right.
recap: Baby Reindeer, The Penguin, Squid Game 2, Hacks, Nobody Wants This, Will and Harper, Quiet on Set, Shogun, Ripley, and Landman.
Oof. Awesome. Beautiful. Okay, I will need to check out a lot of these. I have a very different list because, of course, we do.
Yeah,
Um, eight, nine. Oh, I do have 10. Never mind. Here I was like, I don't think I have 10, but I do. I have 10. And I have not, caveat because I have
I
to
know
be
you
honest,
watch a lot of TV.
I
Yeah,
have not finished any of these shows except for maybe one. But that's fine. It's fine. They're still in my top 10 list. And I'll start with the same one that you started with, which was Baby Reindeer. We reviewed it, it was iconic. Yes, Baby Reindeer is in the top 10. Nobody Wants This is also in the top 10. Those are two shows that we have in common. The others are a little bit more into the popular zeitgeist. One being Dead Boy Detectives, which is offshoot of Sandman, yeah, by Neil Gaiman, and yeah, it was really entertaining, really fun TV show. And We Are Lady Parts. One of my law school professor peeped me into the that show actually, which is very random, but it's a really good show and it's not talked about enough. Check it out for sure. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is entertaining, and yeah, it's in the top 10. There are a lot of offshoots, like Dead Boy Detectives, as well as Elsbeth is another that's in my top 10. I love her. She is,
I can't even. It's we. I don't think we've ever disagreed. So I tried to watch one show of that, and I just like
yeah.
I was like,
Keep watching, keep watching.
oh, this. Oh, I just hated it. Like, no, it's yeah. No, I hate that show. I absolutely.
You hate that show? That's harsh.
I hate.
No, keep
I,
watching. She's so entertaining.
oh no,
I mean,
I hate everything about. I'm sorry. It just, and this is just a personal thing. There's nothing. I think she's doing a great job at what she's
mhm.
supposed to be doing, but yeah, it's not. Yeah, I just find the show annoying. I find her annoying on the show. Yeah, no, no.
She's weird. Absolutely. I
Right,
like her. I
right.
find her quirkiness
Yeah,
very
no, I
interesting.
know. A lot of people talk about it, and then I was like, I kept for the longest time not well, and I'm like, oh, I got to check this out, and I kept
Yeah.
hearing people talk about it, and no,
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 not for me. I
not for me.
love The Good Wife. Like full, caveat. The Good Wife and The Good Fight are some of my favorite shows. And she's from those shows. And so,
Right.
yeah, yeah, I like Elsbeth. Evil is another one that's in very high ranking for me. I absolutely love Evil, and this season was no exception. Gosh, I think we don't talk about that show enough, to be honest. And I never understand why, because it's so good. I get annoyed with the main protagonist, but I love the premise. Another one that's newer and probably not going to be talked about a lot is Queenie. but it's one to check out for sure. Um, and the last two, Three Body Problem, which,
Yeah.
right? I was like, gotta be in the top 10. Three Body Problem, I mean, what a insane sci-fi thing, Odyssey, whatever you want to call it. And last but not least is Cross. I'm a huge James Patterson fan and Alex Cross fan. I mean, I loved every single movie that Morgan Freeman was in as Cross. Um, the TV show did an incredible job. Like, I love, um, gosh, I'm terrible. I'm forgetting his name. Aldous Huxley or
Huxley, you mean?
Huxley, maybe?
I
Yeah.
don't know who you're talking about.
Aldous Hodge. Aldous Hodge is
Oh,
his name. Gosh, he's so good in this show. Yeah, yeah, crosses. And that is my top 10, and I'm gonna read them one more time. Baby Reindeer, Nobody Wants This, We Are Lady Parts, Dead Boy Detectives, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Elsbeth, Evil, Queenie, Three Body Problem, and Cross. Check them out, friends. Check them out. And it's a nice mix again of like comedy, horror, low-key horror, action, drama, of course, sci-fi, yeah, and romance. Sweet.
okay.
Now, shall we talk about our least favorites?
Yes.
Take it away, Jerry. Take it away.
So in film, I've got my. We're just doing five. I mean, because there was a lot of bad movies this year. But my worst five are in no particular order: Argylle, The Crow, Lisa Frankenstein. Just hated that movie. Uh, If, the kids movie, If,
Okay.
and Megalopolis. Got to put
Ooh,
Megalopolis up there.
haven't seen that because I heard of the terrible,
It
terrible.
was it was a mess. It was just a mess.
Oh, that is very sad.
Yeah.
Okay. And how about your
TV.
least favorite for TV? Yeah.
TV. I could not come with. See, I don't watch. First of all, I think, like I said before, I think TV has got, like the greatest entertainment is on TV, basically. I don't find myself watching a lot of TV that I really dislike. I mean, there are things I like more than others, but overall, most of the stuff I watch on TV, I like. It's very rare that I see something and I'm like, this is bad. I
Mm.
did not put Elsbeth on there, though I could.
Ah!
Um,
For the one episode.
yeah, I just, because that's, I didn't really give it much of a chance. It's kind of hard just from one episode. I wouldn't put it as a worst. But there were, so I only have three on my list.
Mm.
Um, and these were okay. So the first one that I have on my list, I did not watch the full. This was one where I really was trying to give it a chance.
Yeah.
I think I watched like four maybe episodes, maybe five, and it was just getting to the point where this is so bad I cannot waste my time on this anymore. And that is Time Bandits. I was so looking forward to it. The movie, of course, I grew up, like the original movie, watched, such a good movie.
What is it
Cla-
about? I actually don't know anything about Time Bandits.
It's about a kid who encounters these sort of thieves who are traveling through time. They have like, they basically go to different time periods, and they're thieves, and then the kid is like with them, and he's trying to get back home to his time period. And yeah, it's I think it's based on a book, which is why they were, but I don't know, it just goes on and on and on. It just it's like the same thing every episode. It's not like no story actually develops. So like there's no reason to keep watching it. Like it's just the same thing over and over again. And it's Taika Waititi. It's his
Yeah.
spearheaded it, and he actually plays like God in it, and it's just god awful. It's just so bad. Anyways, Time Bandits, The Regime, the Kate Winslet
Yeah.
series.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's fantastic in it. I mean,
Okay.
she's brilliant in it. But it's not good. It's really not good.
Oh gosh.
But I did stick with, I watched the entire season, which I'm sure it's not going to get renewed. I mean, nobody likes that movie, that series, Regime, and then finally A Man in Full, which I didn't really hate. It just wasn't. I mean, I really wanted it to be good, and it just wasn't good. Tom Pelphrey was one of my favorite actors, so I'm excited to see anything that he's in. And he's great in it, but it's not good. It's just not good.
What is it
So,
about?
what is it about? I'm trying to even remember. I kind of put it out of my mind. It's about this rich guy, and God, I'm trying to remember. There's like some lawyers that are trying to take him down, and yeah, I don't remember. It's sort of like a legal, political story. Yeah, about these people basically trying to take down this powerful guy. Yeah, I don't really remember specifically.
Hmm.
Anyway, so I just have three on my list.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, in terms of like worst, I didn't put much energy into like looking because I was like, well, I was entertained by so many things. There's some movies that I was like, well, I guess I could put it on my worst, but like for example, like Long Legs, I think it's not on my worst because there were aspects that I really liked and there were aspects that I thought were terrible. you know? Same for a lot of stuff. So Madam Web is the only one that I think like it had such potential and it completely like obliterated.
Yeah,
Like,
I considered that, but I actually, I found it entertaining. It wasn't as bad as I thought it
yeah,
was going to be. It
it
didn't
was
make
still
me.
entertaining. Exactly. That's true. And so that's how I felt about a lot of movies that I was like Venom: The Last Dance. I was
Yeah,
entertained. It
I didn't
wasn't
bother.
great, but I was entertained. Beetlejuice was another one that I was like, I
No.
know, like I was just like, it was fine. I need to maybe rewatch it, but like I was bored for a lot
Oh.
of the first hour,
Oh, yeah.
personally.
Well, yeah, the first half it was a little slow, and then I thought the second I thought the second half made up for the first half because like once it got to Halloween,
Yeah,
I thought it took off and just stayed at a high level like the rest of the movie.
for sure. But that first half was hard to to get through for me. I was like, maybe I was because I was very tired. Just like, oh gosh, gosh. Um, just like yeah, movies like that where I was like, Bob Marley One Love. I liked it, but
Mm,
I felt like it didn't do justice to Bob Marley.
that was not good. Yeah.
I was like, gosh, that sucks. But yeah, I saw a lot of movies this year. Like, I looked at my list and I was like, oh, yeah, forgot The Beekeeper, Civil War, Challengers,
I
Mad
know.
Max, Furiosa,
Mhm.
you know, The
So you,
Fall.
you didn't see any of the movies that were on my worst list, did you? I'm just curious if you thought any of those. No. Okay.
What were they again?
Argylle, The Crow, Lisa Frankenstein, If, and Megalopolis.
Absolutely none of them. I haven't seen any of them.
Because I'd be
Yeah.
curious if you saw any of those if you thought they were worse than your existing. Because then you would
Probably because I
yeah.
haven't seen them. They probably would eviscerate whatever I think is like, oh, not so great. But yeah.
Yeah, I think the one that everyone pretty much that would pretty much be on everyone's worst list is The Crow, though.
The Crow?
I didn't hear anybody saying anything good about that movie.
Really?
So it was so bad, yeah.
What was bad about it? Because it looked like it could be entertaining.
Uh, there was just like, it was just all over the place, and it was just, there was nothing to get excited. There was one scene I actually did enjoy. It's just like a fight scene, and it's just like he's just killing all these people, and that was actually entertaining. It's like, oh, how many ways can he, like slice people up? That was kind of fun. But that was the only scene that I was even entertained by. The rest was just a total snooze fest.
Oh
I'll
God.
tell you, one sort of honorable mention for worst that I didn't have on here is Horizon, which is that the name of Horizon? I think Kevin Costner's 3 hour part one of four epic.
Mm-hmm.
That was just, I didn't put it on because it was like, in terms of filmmaking, it was sort of brilliant. Like the cinematography and the performances and all that stuff, but it was just so boring and only a part one. And it's like, this should not even be in the theater. This should have been a mini series, limited series on TV. This should never have been in the theater. And I was just furious at the end of it. I think I'm gonna go to part two and sit through another 3 hours of this. Not on your life. So yeah, so I sort of debated on that, putting that on my worst list, because it was sort of painful, but I couldn't really say it was bad. It wasn't bad. It was
If you were bored out of your mind, I think that's bad.
well, just yeah. I guess. Well, I wouldn't say bored. It would. What would happen is you'd have like one great scene where a lot of stuff happened, and then you'd have like another 20 minutes of nothing happening, and then you'd have another great scene with something. So it was kind of like in and out.
Yeah.
So there were elements there, to sort of pique your interest. And again, I think if it were broken up into 1 hour segments for a limited series, I think it would have worked much better, and I might have actually been into it,
Yeah.
But yeah, sitting through 3 hours without an ending, no, thank you.
I hear that. I will not watch it. Yeah, I cannot stand anything that's boring. Not gonna happen. But yes, this was fun though. Thank you for joining me.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yes, it's always fun to talk about movies and TV shows and entertainment in general with you. I'm looking forward to what 2025 have to bring, and to talking about the Oscars once award season comes, to see if we agree or disagree. Maybe we can even do like a poll.
Yeah, Oscar show. Yeah.
Yeah, where we try to think who's going to win. I used to do that many years ago.
Love it.
So, and see who wins. That would be fun. That would be very fun.
It'll be a
Excellent.
very interesting year. Yeah.
Hmm. Absolutely. And hopefully, for those of you watching, you can hire Jerry and I. We're incredible actors. And I promise you, we will launch you into Oscar season with our performances. Hire us. Excellent. Any last words on this year 2024 of entertainment, Jerry?
Let's just hope for a better 2025. That's all.
Excellent. Yes. I think it wasn't that bad, but maybe there weren't enough like beautiful stars, shining stars in cinematography. But yeah, I was entertained this year. I'm still entertained. Keep entertaining me, people. Excellent. Well, I'll catch you at another review, Jerry. Thank you so much.
Amen.
Bye, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, and share this video with the world. Thank you. Until next time. Ah.